Here is an example basic verbal reasoning question for you. Which letter is missing from the following 4 words? Here are the 4 words with the missing letter either at the end or start of the 4 words, which is indicated by the red question marks. So here are your answer options. Is the missing letter N, E, Y, or D? Do you know the answer? Well, before I give it to you, hello and welcome. My name is Joshua Brown from the job aptitude testing website, howtobecome.com. We have helped tens of thousands of people in their preparation for aptitude tests for job roles worldwide over the past 20 years. And in this tutorial, I will teach you how to pass any aptitude assessment you have coming up by giving you the strategies, secrets, and of course, timed practice questions for the most common aptitude tests used by the leading assessors to ensure you pass at your first attempt. Now, there are 2 ways to try and answer this type of verbal reasoning aptitude test question. The first being a process of elimination. For example, we can take the letter N and see if it makes the 4 words. And it does for the letters CLA, making the word clan. But it doesn't for the letters CIT, for example. However, the quick way is to look at the 4 potential words and see which word seems most obscure, or in other words, is most likely to either start or end with fewer potential letter options. In this example, the letters making up the word containing the letters A, C, H, T stands out to me, and therefore I would instantly know only the letter Y would work, spelling the word yacht. I would then try adding the letter Y to the other words to see if they worked too, and indeed they do, making Y the correct spelling for the words. We can see those 4 words are clay, year, city, and yacht. So what I want you to do is to now practice some assessment questions yourself. Let's start off with the verbal reasoning questions we just looked at, and then we'll move on to some new question types. Please put your answer to questions 2 and 3 in the comment section below the video for marking. I reply to every single person who leaves a comment, so put your answers below and I'll mark them for you. Thank you. So question 2 is this. Which letter is missing from the following 4 words? Here are those 4 words with the question marks indicating the missing letter. Is that missing letter T, C, N, or P? You have just 10 seconds on the timer for this question. It's always best to practice under time conditions. However, if you need more time to answer, please pause the video. Candidates we have trained always perform better in their actual assessment if they know how to answer each question correctly and accurately. You can always increase your speed by practicing more questions under timed conditions once you have the foundations. Okay, your 10 seconds starts now. How did you get on? Don't forget to put your answer in the comment section below. Question 3. Which letter is missing from the following 4 words? Here are those 4 words. Is the missing letter T, S, B, or P? Your 10 seconds starts now. Okay, you're doing great. Now let's take a look at some verbal comprehension tests. Verbal reasoning or verbal comprehension tests are designed to challenge your knowledge of words, the relationship between different words, and your general English language competency. So here is a question. Read the below passage carefully and answer the questions at the end of the passage based on multiple choice options. Here is the passage. A sudden power outage disrupted operations at the local manufacturing plant last night, halting production for several hours during bad weather. Emergency generators were activated promptly to maintain critical systems until power was restored. Here is a statement based on that passage. The power outage at the manufacturing plant was most likely caused by severe weather, sabotage, faulty wiring, or none of these options. Which answer option would you choose? Well, the correct answer may surprise you. It's actually none of these options. And this is a very important lesson for verbal comprehension tests. And if you understand this, you will ace your verbal comprehension tests really easily. And that's because you should never make assumptions. You should always choose your answer entirely based on what the passage actually says. And although the passage does mention there was bad weather, it doesn't actually say it was the bad weather that caused the power outage. So never make an assumption. So now let's try some of these questions for yourself, but let's really ramp up the difficulty of this by looking at a more realistic verbal reasoning style question here. This time you'll have to decide whether a statement about the passage is true, false, or impossible to say. But before we do, if you want thousands of questions like these of all difficulties and test types, you can get them now for free. And to do that at any point during this tutorial, if you want to, you can click that link in the top right hand corner or in the pinned comment below this video and head to my website howtobecome.com, where you can access thousands of psychometric aptitude test preparation style questions, including the ones we're covering right now, plus the fully worked answers and strategies to pass each question type to make you the standout candidate. Oh, and this resource is completely free for you to access right now on a 14-day trial. Okay, let's go back to that verbal comprehension question. The question is this: read the following passage and answer the question as either true, false, or impossible to say, based on the information provided. Here is the passage. Over the past decade, artificial intelligence, AI, has emerged as a transformative force, reshaping industries and redefining the way we interact with technology. From personalized recommendations on streaming platforms to autonomous vehicles navigating city streets, AI applications are pervasive in our daily lives. These advancements have been propelled by breakthroughs in machine learning, neural networks, and data analytics, enabling AI systems to process vast amounts of information and perform complex tasks with unprecedented precision and efficiency. As the capabilities of AI continue to evolve, its impact on society will only deepen, with potential implications for employment, ethics, and human-machine collaboration. Now, here is the statement based on that passage. AI's impact on employment and human-machine collaboration is yet to be fully understood. Is the answer true, false, or impossible to say? Now, if you believe the statement is true, then it can be verified by the text. This means that the text must explicitly or implicitly mention something which proves the statement to be correct. In other words, you cannot make any assumptions about the text. Just as I mentioned before, there must either be direct evidence for the statement or a strong inference to support the statement. A strong inference is something to bear note here. If you think it's false, there must be evidence in the text which contradicts the statement. For example, if the question statement says, all swans are white, but the text says there is such a thing as a black swan, then the statement is false because it is directly contradicted by the text. Impossible to say. If you think it's impossible to say, there is not enough evidence to verify that the statement is true or false. So the correct answer therefore has to be impossible to say. Simply put, this means you cannot say the statement is true or false based on the information provided in the passage. Okay, I'm going to give you just 5 seconds to write your answer down in the comment section below the video, and then we'll go through the answer together. Your 5 seconds starts now. Okay, what do you think? What did you put? Well, the correct answer is actually true. The answer is supported by the passage, which mentions that AI continues to evolve. Its implications for employment and human-machine collaboration will deepen. The passage highlights that while AI brings advancements and efficiencies, it also raises questions about its effects on employment and ethical considerations, suggesting that further understanding is needed in these areas. Therefore, the correct answer is true, as it reflects the passage's emphasis on the ongoing and evolving nature of AI's societal impact. Now, I want you to try one of these questions yourself. We're going to use the same passage as before, but here is a different statement. The advancements in artificial intelligence, AI, have resulted in an overall reduction in employment opportunities across all sectors. Is the answer true, false, or impossible to say? Let me know your answer in the comment section below for marking. Your 5 seconds starts now. Brilliant. How did you get on? If you need more practice questions on those, do check out the link I mentioned earlier. Let's now move on to some numerical reasoning tests. If an esports player enters on average 2 tournaments per month, how many tournaments will they have entered over a 5-year period? Well, is the answer 60, 180, 240, or 120, or E, none of the above? This is a basic numerical question, but as I mentioned earlier, it's so important to get the foundations right before we up the difficulty and up the time pressure of practicing under timed conditions. Let's work through this together. So to work this out, the esports player enters 2 tournaments each month over 5 years, which is 60 months. 5 years times by 12 months per year gives us 60. We then take that 60 months and multiply it by the 2 tournaments a month that the esports player enters. So 2 tournaments a month multiplied by 60 months gives us our answer of 120 tournaments. So the correct answer was option D, 120. So take a look at one of these questions for yourself. Let me know the answer in the comment section below for marking. If a baker bakes an average of 10 loaves of bread per day, how many loaves of bread will they have baked over a 7-day week? Is the answer A, 70, B, 140, C, 1,680, or D, 7, or finally E, none of the above? You have 15 seconds to work this out, starting now. Okay, here's another question for you to try. Question number 9 is this. If a gardener plants an average of 5 flower seeds per day, how many flower seeds will they have planted over a 30-day month? Is the answer option A, 130, B, 150, C, 180, D, 220, or E, none of the above? You have 15 seconds, starting now. You're doing really well. I have a couple more of these questions for you before moving on to another common but interesting type of numerical reasoning question, which we'll walk through together. So here's another one of these questions for now. Question 10 is this. If a construction worker uses on average 20 bricks per hour, how many bricks will they have used over 3 30-day months? Is it A, 13,400, B, 16,800, C, 14,400, D, 12,800, or E, none of the above? You have 15 seconds on the timer, starting now. Okay, let's take a look at a new type of numerical reasoning test question. The clock below reads 8 AM. How many degrees will the small hour hand have turned when the time reaches 11 AM? Here is that clock showing the time of 8 AM. Now, to work this question out, I see many people really struggle with it, but it's actually very simple once you know how. So let's break it down. There are 360 degrees in one full turn of the clock. So if that small hour hand or the large minute hand rotates around the clock in one full turn, it is 360 degrees that it has turned. So every hour, the large hand will turn 360 degrees. Every 12 hours, the small hand will turn 360 degrees. So once we know that, we can actually work out the answer to this question very simply. So let's take a look at the answer. The clock below reads 8 AM. How many degrees will the small hour hand have turned when the time reaches 11 AM? Step 1. Calculate how many degrees there are in a 1 hour turn of the small hour hand. So we take a 360 degrees turn and we divide it by 12 hours. That gives us 30. Step 2. There are 3 hours between 8 AM and 11 AM, so we simply multiply 30 degrees by 3, which gives us an answer of 90 degrees. So it's very simple once you know how. So now it's your turn. Please put your answer to question 7 in the comments section below the video for marking. Thank you very much. Question 12 is this. The clock below reads 5 AM. How many degrees will the small hour hand have turned when the time reaches 3 PM? Is it A, 60 degrees, B, 90 degrees, C, 270 degrees, or D, 300 degrees? You have 15 seconds on the timer to work this out, starting now. Okay, let's try another one, but let's ramp up the difficulty a little bit here for you. Question 13 is this. The clock below reads 2 PM. How many degrees will the large minute hand have turned when the time reaches 5 PM? Notice here it's the large minute hand this time, not the small hour hand. Is the answer A, 60 degrees, B, 120 degrees, C, 720 degrees, or D, 1080 degrees? You have 15 seconds. Let me know your answer in the comment section below. We're now going to move on to some abstract reasoning questions, but remember, at any point during this tutorial, if you want to, you can click that link in the top right hand corner or in the pinned comment below this video and head through to my website howtobecome.com, where you can access thousands of psychometric aptitude test questions, plus the fully worked answers and strategies to pass each question to make you the standout candidate. And remember, it's completely free for 14 days on the trial that's available on that website for you. Okay, question 14 is this. Which of the answer options should come next in the sequence? Here is that sequence, and you can see the question mark here demonstrates that missing piece. Is the answer, or that missing piece, A, B, C, D, or E? Now, if you've never seen these questions before, or even if you have, you may find these very confusing or overwhelming. Don't worry, you're not alone. In fact, this question type is called abstract reasoning, and it's very challenging for many people. The abstract reasoning test is designed to assess a candidate's ability to perceive and interpret visual patterns and relationships. This test typically includes questions related to visual series, visual analogy, and common features. Don't worry if that sounds confusing. We're going to go through it together step by step. You'll have a limited time to answer each of these questions, so effective time management is crucial. So let's have a go at this question together. Now, when answering an abstract reasoning question, try to look for the pattern in the sequence before looking for the correct answer option. So that pattern could be how the shapes rotate, how the colors of the shape change, or how the shape changes itself. Remember, the color variations may not mean anything at all in this example, or they may mean something. Just because something does change doesn't necessarily mean it's important, and that's the challenge of abstract reasoning questions, because there can be many different layers. However, once you practice a few of these, you'll start understanding what the assessors are looking for and how these questions work. However, in this sequence, the colors are very important indeed. As the sequence progresses, the blue shapes turn green, the green shapes turn yellow, and the yellow shapes turn purple. The purple shapes then turn red, and the red shapes then turn blue. That might sound confusing, but let's have a look at it together. So if we look here at this purple circle in the bottom right hand corner of this first step in the sequence, we can see it's purple, then it goes to red, then it goes to blue, and then it goes to green. But what comes after green? Well, if we start the sequence over again and look at this green square, we can see that it goes to yellow, and then from yellow it goes to purple and then to red, and we know red then goes to blue and then to green. So once we've matched that sequence up, we can look at the answer options here and go through a process of elimination. And we can see that answer option B is the only one that follows that pattern for all the colours. So we know here that this green circle must go to yellow, and it does here. And then we can repeat that process for all of these colours. We can see which one comes next. We know after, if we look at this square, after green, it goes to yellow. So we can look at this triangle here, which is blue, and then we know it goes blue, goes to green. So if we look here in this last step of the sequence, these two blue circles must go to green. And we can see here they're both green, and so on and so forth. If you need more time to practice these, do take the time you need to go through this. Pause this video or rewind the steps, watch it over again, get it right. Accuracy is so important. It's more important than getting through and answering every question, in my opinion. We see more success in our candidates for being accurate over just the quantity of trying to answer as many questions as possible, but getting loads wrong in the process. Be more accurate and get them right. Take your time and then practice questions under timed conditions to improve your speed. So let's do that right now. Question 15. Which of the answer options should come next in the sequence? Here is that sequence, and here are your answer options, A, B, C, or D. Let me know in the comment section below which answer option you would choose. You have 15 seconds to work this out, starting now. Doing really well for sticking with me. So many people struggle with these and give up, but keep on going. Let's take a look at another. Which of the answer options should come next in the sequence? Here's the sequence, and here are your 4 answer options. Let me know your answer in the comment section below. Your 15 seconds starts now. Okay, the next thing to do is to please make sure you click that button in the top right hand corner or in the pinned comment below this video. Head through to my website, How to Become, and like I said, you can get access to thousands of psychometric aptitude test questions and the fully worked answers to each question with a 14-day free trial. You can literally have online access within 2 minutes from now, and it's guaranteed to help you prepare effectively for your next job aptitude test, and also, more importantly, put you ahead of the competition. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Please don't forget to subscribe, as I'm on a mission to help as many people as possible pass their aptitude tests and their job interviews, and I can only do that if you are subscribed. Please also hit that like button, as that encourages me to make more videos just like these. And if you have any questions regarding any aptitude test assessment with any assessor or job role, do let me know in the comment section below, where I'll get back to you with even more tips and advice. I literally respond to every person who leaves a comment. Oh, and don't forget to connect with me on LinkedIn. I've put my LinkedIn link in the description below. It's always great to connect with like-minded professionals such as yourself. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you all the best with your assessment. Have a brilliant day.